There is a moment when you realize that the weight you carry is not made of flesh. It is made of something else, something invisible, something that clings to your skin like smoke, that darkens your eyes before you open them, that arrives before you enter a room. The ancient traditions called it many names. The Buddhists understood it as accumulated energy. The Hindus as aura. The shamans as spiritual debris. But regardless of the word used, the sensation is identical. You move through the world wounded, collecting fragments. Each harsh word penetrates like a microscopic arrow. Each resentment settles in your chest like a stone in still water. Each fear wraps around your spine like a serpent that will not release. By the time you realize what is happening, years have passed. You are no longer the person who started the day. You are the accumulation of every moment you failed to release. This is not mysticism. This is the textbook of modern life. And today you will learn 7 techniques that Buddhist monasteries have guarded for centuries. 7 keys that unlock the prison you did not know you had built around yourself. These are not abstractions. They are surgical instruments of the mind. They work because they address a simple truth that the city refuses to acknowledge. What you do not release owns you. What you do not transform festers. What you do not clean spreads. But here's the secret that arrives like light through a crack. Everything can be cleansed. Every shadow has a remedy. Every stain has a brush, not because you deserve it, but because impermanence is the first law. What was collected can be released. What was darkened can be illuminated. What was heavy can become weightless. The common enemy has a name: accumulated negativity. It does not arrive as an invasion. It arrives as a whisper, a thought you did not chase away. An emotion you swallowed instead of expressing, a conflict you stored in your muscles. Over months, these become layers. Over years, they become architecture. You wake up exhausted without having moved. You speak without joy. You love without confidence. You work without fire, not because of circumstance, but because your energy field has been colonized by what you refuse to release. Buddhist wisdom offers a counteroffensive, not aggressive, surgical, precise. It begins with a radical understanding. Your aura is not fixed. Your spiritual state is not sentenced. Your darkness is not permanent. These are habits, and habits are the most negotiable architecture in human existence. They can be built, and they can be unmade. And so begins the journey. The first technique arrives with a name that sounds simple but carries the weight of mountains: mindful breathing with intention. In Buddhist monasteries, this is not decoration. This is the foundation. Because breathing is the only autonomous system you can voluntarily seize. Your heart beats without your permission. Your digestion occurs in darkness, but your breath obeys. It listens. It responds. When you change your breath, you change the chemistry of your blood. When you change the chemistry of your blood, you change your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, the aura begins to shift. This is not belief. This is biology wrapped in wisdom. Picture this. You are sitting in your home. The world outside demands things. Your phone vibrates with urgencies that are not yours. Your mind races with worries that do not belong to you. In that chaos, you pause. You place one hand on your heart, the other on your belly, and you begin. Breathe in for a count of 4. Feel the cool air entering. It carries with it freshness. It carries with it the capacity to begin again. As you inhale, imagine that you are breathing in golden light, not as fantasy, but as a conscious direction for your energy. The light enters and fills every cell. Then exhale for a count of 6, longer than the inhale. This extended exhale tells your nervous system there is no emergency. It tells your body it is safe to release. As you exhale, imagine that you are expelling everything that is no longer yours, every word that was spoken against you and that you collected like a museum of wounds, every fear that was placed inside you by someone else's anxiety, every judgment that you internalized as truth when it was only opinion. Watch it exit like smoke. Watch it dissolve into the air where it becomes nothing. Repeat this 27 times, not arbitrarily. The number matters in Buddhist tradition. 27 times is the breath that recalibrates. By the time you reach the end, your entire energetic field has been reorganized. Your aura shifts from gray to something approaching gold. The ancient texts do not call this meditation. They call this purification through conscious respiration. And it works because you are not fighting yourself. You are cooperating with your own biology. The second technique carries a name that sounds contradictory: the practice of embracing the shadow. In the Western world, we are taught that negativity is an enemy to be destroyed. Crush it, eliminate it, banish it. But Buddhist wisdom knows something different. What you resist persists. What you fight becomes stronger. The shadow that you refuse to acknowledge gains power. It becomes a ghost that haunts. It becomes a whisper that sabotages. It becomes a weight that you do not even know you are carrying. The ancient Buddhists understood that the path to light runs directly through the darkness, not around it, through it. This technique requires a specific ritual. Find a quiet space. Light a candle if you can. The flame is symbolic but also practical. Fire has always been the element of transformation. Face the candle, close your eyes, and invoke what is dark within you, not in anger, in curiosity. Ask silently, what negativity lives in me? What pain have I refused to feel? What anger have I stored? What shame lives in my cells? And then listen. Do not speak. Do not argue. Do not defend. Simply listen. An image may appear. A memory may surface. An emotion that has been dormant may suddenly demand to be felt. Let it come. This is not dangerous. This is liberation. In Buddhist temples, monks spend hours sitting with their deepest darkness, not to be consumed by it, but to understand it, to befriend it, to recognize that even the shadow is made of the same consciousness as the light. It is not separate. It is not foreign. It is yours. And what is yours can be transformed. So in this moment, face your darkness. Say to it, silently or aloud, I see you. I have been running from you, but I do not run anymore. You are allowed to be here. And then something miraculous occurs. When you stop resisting the darkness, it loses its grip. When you acknowledge it, it begins to transform. The shadow that seemed infinite becomes finite. The pain that seemed eternal becomes merely present. And in the present moment, you have power. You have choice. You have the capacity to transform what was refused into what is integrated. Open your eyes, look at the candle. The darkness and the light exist in the same space. They do not fight. They dance. And in that dance, healing begins. The third technique is called the practice of conscious release. This is where the actual work of cleansing accelerates. In Buddhist monasteries, this is done through ritual. But in the modern world, in the city where time is fractured and space is limited, it can be done through a simple but profound gesture. You will need something symbolic: paper and pen, a candle, water, and the willingness to let something go. Sit with the paper in front of you, take the pen, and write down everything that is poisoning you. The resentment toward your father, the guilt over a choice you made, the fear that you are not enough, the jealousy that eats your bones, the shame that lives in your throat. Write it all. Do not censor. Do not edit. This page is not for the world. It is for the truth. The Buddhists understood that what is unwritten lives in the body as tension. What is unexpressed lives in the aura as darkness. So write until there is nothing left to write, until the page is full of your poison. Then pause. Read it once. Look at the words. Acknowledge them. These are the things that have colonized your inner world. These are the weights that you have been carrying. And then comes the crucial moment. You will burn this paper, not in anger, in ceremony. Light the corner of the paper. Feel the heat. Watch the ink transform. Watch the words dissolve. As the paper burns, repeat silently, I release this. It was mine. Now it returns to the universe transformed. I am lighter. I am free. The ash is not trash. In Buddhist tradition, ash is sacred. It is the proof that transformation has occurred. It is the evidence that what was dense can become weightless. Some traditions say you should scatter the ash in running water. Others say you should plant it in earth. The method matters less than the intention. What matters is that you have literally watched your negativity transform. And in that watching, something shifts in your aura. The darkness that was fixed becomes a memory of darkness. The weight becomes weightlessness. This is not psychology. This is alchemy. The fourth technique is known as the practice of loving-kindness radiation. This is where the actual illumination begins. In Buddhist temples, this practice is called metta. It is ancient and it is devastatingly powerful. The principle is counterintuitive to Western thinking. You cannot clean your aura by focusing on yourself. You clean your aura by radiating outward. This seems wrong, but it is the most precise truth. When you send loving kindness into the world, your own field becomes the transmission center. You do not hoard energy, you become a channel for it. And in that channeling, transformation occurs. Here is how it works. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Begin with yourself. Place your hand on your heart and whisper or think silently. May I be well. May I be at peace. May I be free from suffering. May I be healthy in body and mind. Repeat this until you feel a warmth in your chest. Not imagined, real? Then expand the circle. Think of someone you love deeply, a parent, a child, a friend, and direct the same intention toward them. May you be well. May you be at peace. May you be free from suffering. May you be healthy in body and mind. Watch the energy expand. Then think of someone neutral. The barista at the coffee shop, the stranger on the bus, the person you pass in the street whose name you will never know, and extend the same kindness. May you be well. And here comes the esoteric part. Think of someone who has hurt you, someone who caused you pain, not to absolve them, but to free yourself from the poison of grudge. May you be well. May you find peace. May you understand your own suffering so that you stop creating suffering. By the time you finish this practice, your entire aura has been rewired. The Buddhists understood that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When you release resentment through loving kindness, you stop poisoning yourself. The other person may never know, they may never change, but you will be free, and your aura will shine because it is no longer dimmed by the weight of anger. The fifth technique is called the ritual of water purification. This is one of the oldest cleansing practices in Buddhism, and it works because water itself is a cleansing agent, but also because water is symbolic. It is fluid. It does not hold onto form. It flows. It transforms. It cleanses everything it touches. You can perform this ritual anywhere, in your shower, in your bathtub, at a river or ocean if you are fortunate enough to have access. But the principle is the same. Begin by standing in the water. Real water. Not visualized, real. Feel the temperature. Feel the sensation on your skin. The Buddhists understood that the body does not lie. The mind can deceive, but the body remembers every touch, every wound, every trauma. Water wakes the body up. Water tells the body it is safe to release. As you stand in the waters, close your eyes. Take a breath and begin to see the water as liquid light. As it touches your skin, it is not just cleansing, it is transmuting. Imagine that every cell of your body is being visited by this light. Imagine that every place where you stored negativity is being touched, the throat where you held back words, the chest where you stored grief, the belly where you held fear, the bones where you encoded old traumas. Feel the water reaching these places. And as it does, imagine that it is not water anymore. It is light. It is healing. It is the capacity to begin again. In Buddhist monasteries, this ritual lasts for hours. But even 5 minutes of conscious water cleansing will reorganize your energy field. When you finish, do not rush to dry off. Sit for a moment. Feel the water cooling on your skin. Thank your body for its willingness to be cleansed. Thank the water for its service. This is not superstition. This is recognition. You have just participated in an ancient ritual that has transformed millions of beings. You have consciously chosen to wash away what was no longer serving you. Your aura will reflect this choice. The sixth technique is the practice of sound purification. The Buddhists knew something that modern science is only beginning to discover. Sound is not merely vibration. Sound is information. Sound is medicine. Sound can cleanse. It can heal. It can transform. This is why monasteries use chanting. This is why mantras are repeated. This is why the sound of the bell is used to mark sacred moments. In your own practice, you can use sound to cleanse your aura. The simplest method is humming. Find a space where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale while humming, not singing. Humming, a simple sound that resonates in your body. Feel the vibration in your chest, feel it in your head, feel it in your bones. As you hum, imagine that the sound is a frequency that is dislodging all the negativity that has been stuck in your field. Imagine that old traumas are being shaken loose. Imagine that resentments are being vibrated out of your cells. Repeat this for several minutes. You can also use singing bowls if you have access to them, or you can listen to chanting. The sound of Tibetan monks chanting the Om Mani Padme Hum has been documented to have specific healing frequencies, but the principle remains the same. Sound that is offered with intention becomes medicine. In Buddhist temples, there is a gong that marks the beginning and end of meditation. The sound is not random. It is specifically tuned to shift consciousness. When you use sound intentionally, you are doing the same. You're using vibration to reorganize your field. You're using frequency to reset your being. Your aura will visibly lighten after this practice, not metaphorically, literally. Those who can see energy fields report that after sound purification, the field becomes brighter, more coherent, more luminous. The seventh and final technique is the daily practice of sacred witnessing. This is the practice that integrates all the others. In Buddhist monasteries, this is done through a daily ritual called Dharma study. But in the modern world, it can be simpler. It is a practice of conscious observation. Each day you will witness your own transformation, not in judgment, in compassionate observation. Upon waking, before you rise from bed, pause. Notice your thoughts. Are they cleaner than yesterday? Are they less burdened by fear? Are they less colonized by resentment? Do not judge, simply notice. Throughout the day, notice moments of lightness. Notice when you do not react to provocation. Notice when you release a grudge. Notice when you choose kindness over criticism. These are the moments that matter. These are the evidence of your cleansing. In Buddhist practice, this is called mindfulness. It is the most underestimated technology on earth, because in witnessing your own transformation with compassion, you are literally rewiring your neural pathways. You are training your consciousness to recognize progress. You are building the capacity to see the sacred in the ordinary. And in that seeing, the aura transforms. By evening, take a moment to sit. Close your eyes and recall 3 moments when you were lighter today than you were yesterday. 3 moments when you chose differently. 3 moments when your aura shone. Do not make them grand. They can be small. You spoke without cruelty. You listened without judgment. You released a worry. These are the golden threads. And by the end of a week of this practice, you will notice something undeniable. Your energy has shifted. People will comment that you look different, not physically, but there is a luminosity around you that was not there before. This is not imagination. This is the visible effect of an aura that has been cleansed. Now, here comes the integration. These 7 techniques do not exist separately. They work together. They amplify each other. They form a complete system of cleansing. Mindful breathing provides the foundation. Embracing the shadow provides the courage. Conscious release provides the ritual. Loving kindness radiation provides the expansion. Water purification provides the transmutation. Sound purification provides the reorganization. And sacred witnessing provides the integration. When you practice all 7 in sequence, your entire being becomes an instrument of purification. Your aura becomes a beacon. Instead of collecting negativity, you become someone who transforms it. Instead of being darkened by the world, you become someone who illuminates it. The Buddhists understood something that the modern world has forgotten. We are not separate from the universe. We are permeable. We are antennas. We are receptacles. But we are also generators. We generate the energy that we radiate, and that energy affects everything around us. When your aura is cleansed, it literally changes the frequency of the space you occupy. People feel it, Plants feel it, animals feel it, the universe feels it, and it responds by sending you more light. This is not because you deserve it, it is because of the law of resonance, like attracts like. Light attracts light. Cleanliness attracts cleanliness. When you commit to these 7 practices, you are not just healing yourself, you are healing the field around you. You are contributing to the collective healing of the earth. This is the secret that the Buddhists guarded. This is the knowledge that was passed from teacher to student in darkened monasteries for thousands of years. That cleansing your aura is not selfish, it is revolutionary. It is the most precise act of service you can offer, because when you are no longer poisoned, you cannot poison others. When you are no longer burdened, you cannot burden others. When your aura shines, everyone around you has permission to allow their aura to shine as well. This is the ripple effect that changed civilizations. This is the quiet revolution that the Buddhists knew would heal the world. Not through force, through transformation, not through anger, through light. Now the practice begins. You have heard the 7 techniques, but hearing is not practicing. Practice is the bridge between knowledge and transformation. So tomorrow when you wake, choose one. Perhaps the mindful breathing, perhaps the loving kindness radiation. Practice it and notice. The next day, add another. Build slowly. Do not rush. The Buddhists understood that real transformation happens gradually, like a river carving through stone, not through force but through consistency, through repetition, through the simple act of showing up and doing the work. Within 1 week of consistent practice, your aura will begin to shift. Within 1 month, the shift will be undeniable. Within 3 months, you will be unrecognizable to those who knew the old you. Not because you have changed, but because you have been cleansed, you have been released from the accumulation, you have been liberated from the burden. And liberation has a specific appearance. It is called freedom, and it radiates. There is one final secret that the Buddhists whispered only to those students who had proven they were ready to hear it. Cleansing your aura is not a destination. It is a practice. You do not clean once and then remain clean forever. The world continuously offers its darkness. Your mind continuously generates its own. Your body continuously collects the imprints of existence. This is not failure. This is simply reality. And reality offers an elegant solution. You do not clean once, you clean daily, like brushing your teeth, like bathing, like eating nourishing food. Cleansing your aura is maintenance. It is the basic hygiene of consciousness. When you understand this, you release the burden of trying to achieve perfection. You simply commit to daily practice. And in that daily practice, something miraculous occurs. You become clean not because you achieve some final state of purity, but because you have chosen to participate in your own transformation, day after day, moment after moment, breath after breath. This is the freedom that the Buddhists knew, and it is available to you now, if you will choose it. Share this teaching with someone who is carrying a burden too heavy. Share this teaching with someone whose aura has dimmed. Share this teaching with someone who has forgotten that they can be cleansed. And subscribe to continue learning these ancient technologies that have been hidden inside forgotten monasteries and whispered by teachers who knew that transformation is not a luxury. It is the only real work. When you close this episode, return to your breath. Place your hand on your heart and remember, you are not permanently stained. You are not eternally burdened. You are not locked in darkness. You can be cleansed. You can be liberated. You can radiate, and it begins now.